Alright, in this video we'll see how to create a page script manager with WordPress. Now this plugin will simply allow you to add a script to a particular page. So these are the list of pages that are currently in this particular website. You can see the same list is also available in the drop down. So if I select the newsletter page and I have added a script and I want the script to load on the body and click on save script, and this gets saved in the form of AJAX. That means the page doesn't get refreshed and the data got saved. To see, you can check it in the database. You can see the newsletter is there. Along with that, the list is also available on the tab. So as of now, we have some 4 pages where the list where your script is added. The newsletter is a page and there is a script. Now let's check whether the newsletter page has a script or not. And if I view the page, you'll see the alert message saying that hello from newsletter. That means our script which we have added through this plugin worked. Now to check it, you see it's added in the body section. Now let me show you what are the features that we are going to see. To create this plugin, we will be using a custom table, which is this one, and you see these are the data that got saved. And then what we have is, we'll see how to create a top level menu. So this page script is actually a top level menu. Once I click on it, you'll see the form and the drop down where the list of page shows up, and we see that this is the tab which is similar to the WooCommerce tab. If you have installed WooCommerce plugin, you will see the tab similar to this one. We'll see how to create this in this video, and we will be fetching all the values, all the pages in the drop down, and then we'll see how to store the script tag with the help of AJAX. And then based on the script that we have saved on the page, if I open masonry also already has a script, and if you see hello from masonry shows up. I'm just displaying alert because to know that our script has actually loaded. So in many cases there are custom script that you would want to load only for a particular page. In that case, this plugin will be very useful. Now if you are interested in learning how to create WordPress plugin, I have a separate roadmap for that. I would recommend you to get into this URL and enroll the course. So this is my website. If you wish to learn WordPress plugin development, I would recommend you to start from HTML, then go to CSS, then go to JavaScript, then complete the PHP, then get into the WooCommerce, and then the theme development, and finally the plugin development. That's only when you'd be able to fully understand what we are doing in this particular video or in this particular playlist. Now each of these video has hundreds of projects in it. Let's just talk about the CSS and JavaScript, and if we talk about JavaScript, we have hundreds of projects. These are not just simple projects but a portfolio worthy project, and once you complete all the 100 projects, you will be confident enough to say that you are a front-end JavaScript developer. And the projects that we would be covering is how to create a typing test challenge, and goal tracker, typewriter, text, and quiz game, and so on. So hundreds of projects are waiting for you to be added in your portfolio. Just visit this link. As of now, this course is free, but day passes, I'll make this paid. The same way for CSS, we have hundreds of CSS. Once you complete all the 100 videos, you would be confident enough to say yourself as a experienced web designer. The same is true for the other courses as well, including PHP, WooCommerce, theme development, and plugin development. So I'll leave the link on the description in case if you wish to learn from this and be a WordPress developer. First and foremost thing, we just deactivate the old plugin. We want to show our plugin in this particular page. So for that, what we need to do is we need to create a folder on the plugins folder. I'll just name it as manager, and I need to create a PHP file. It's recommended to have the name of the PHP file similar to your folder name, and Along with that, I need to create a folder where I will have my JavaScript file. So I'll just name the JavaScript file as script.js. That's it. Now if you see, it has the description, the version number and the author along with the name. So we need to pass the metadata. The metadata will be in the form of the comment. So we would be passing plugin name, the description, and the version name, the name of the author, and this is enough to make your plugin visible on this page. And you'll see script manager. This is the plugin that we are done. Now once I click on activate, I want a table to be created on this database. So for that we have a function called register activation hook. So this register activation hook simply attaches a function to it. So this function where we write our custom query, inside the query I want the column to be ID as a primary key, and then we have second column page ID, which is a unique ID for each page, and then a column which holds the script, and then the location. It is either head or body, and the created at time. Along with that, character set. The character set is responsible for sorting. It's required for the database, we don't have to worry about it, but we need to pass it along with the SQL. The character set, the most common character set are ASCII or UTF-8, and then I'm defining the table name. I want the table name to be page script, and I'm using the WPDB global object which WordPress provides us so that we can interact with the database and use the query. We would be using insert, update, delete and create query with the help of this WPDB global object. Now to run the custom table query, WordPress gives you a function called delta-db. So this delta-db is defined in this particular URL of the WordPress file structure. Now these delta-db is for the custom table. If it's inbuilt table, WordPress gives you a function called wp underscore query. So now once you activate a plugin, you will see the table will be populated on the database. If I click on browse, I think you have to click on this database, sorry, table name. Sorry, it's a database, and then you see this is actually created. That means on page load, sorry, on plugin activation, the query has run properly and the table is been created. Now after that, I want to show the top level menu on the sidebar. To make this work, we have a hook called admin menu, where we need to pass a function called add menu. In that add menu, so when the admin menu is called, this function is automatically attached to it. So this function triggers a admin menu function where we have, this is the name of the page, and this is the h1, and this is the keyword that need to be provided to the WordPress so that it knows that author can do these kind of capability. So this is actually the capability, and this is a URL. Once I click on the link, the URL should change to this. So this is a slug, and then the relevant function. Once you click on this, there should be a function that will have the HTML. Let's just say it will just have my name. Now if I refresh, and you'll see the top level menu has showed up, and then it displays the HTML. Now what we need to get the list of pages. To get the list of pages, WordPress gives you a global object which is page. Now we can access the pages list with the help of get pages. Now what we need to do is we need to write HTML where we can have a form, and in the drop down there would be list of pages. So we will be having an array. Now we'll be using for each, and before displaying that, we want to add the WooCommerce type tab. So for that, WordPress gives you a function nav tab, and this nav tab has to be inside the nav tab wrapper. And now you'll see, so this is actually the nav tab wrapper which holds your nav tab and nav tab. So nav tab active, that means this particular div is active. So in this div we need to show the form with the drop down which has all the pages. This is very straightforward. You just have to notice one thing. The ID is similar. If you look at href, it has a add. So this add, once I click on this add, this div should open up. Similarly, if I click on the list div, this one should open up. I'll write that list later on. Let's just focus on the form. Now, as said, we will be getting the list in a form of array, and I'm running the for each loop. And for the options value, we have a ID, and for the visible part, we have the title. Now, if you see, these are the title, post title, and the value that would be stored will be the ID. So inside the option tag, let me just show you, we will be having the ID. You can see value equal to 28, 11, 26, 115, 118. These are the IDs. Now if I click on save, the value should get saved with the help of AJAX. So to make the AJAX work, first thing, we need to attach a script to this particular page. To attach a script to this particular page, usually what happens is, since once footer is called on all the pages, if you add a script on the footer, that will be applied, that script will be applied to all the pages. But we don't want that. We want only this page to have a particular script. So for that, let's just, when we add script, WordPress uses enqueue function. So to avoid overriding and to avoid conflict between two plugin or two JavaScript, WordPress uses enqueue. And since it's admin, it's called admin enqueue script. If it's running on the front end, it's just enqueue scripts. Now with the help of hook, you see we get a hook as a parameter. So with the help of this hook, we can identify that from which file this script is called. So for that, if the hook is not equal to top level page, so whatever you see as a visible, so these are called the top level page. Now these are all the top level page. Then the rest is the slug. You'll see the slug equal to page hyphen script hyphen manager. This is the slug. So I'm saying, if it's not this particular page, then don't run the rest of the code, just return it. If it's the same page that we are talking about, then attach the, we don't have style sheet here, then attach the script file which we have created over here. And this script needs jQuery as a dependency, and one is for cache bursting and the other is for whether to load on the head tag, whether to load on the footer tag. I'm making this to load on the body, that's why it's true. Now again, to pass PHP variable to the JavaScript, we use a function called wp_localize_script. So this is the handle and this is the object. So we can use this variable in the JavaScript with the help of this type. So when I use this type of variable in the JavaScript, what I mean is, I want to get the URL variable. So this URL simply hold the AJAX file location. I hope it's clear. Now since it's attached, now we are able to write the script for the AJAX. Just to give you a heads up, what we need to do is, once I click on save, we want the ID of the page, we want the script tag, and we want the location to get embedded on the URL. And from the URL, we'll be accessing those objects from with the help of PHP super global variable, which is post. We'll be accessing the ID, we'll be accessing the script tag, we'll be accessing the location, and send it to the AJAX function. Now let's do that. As said, when I click on the save button, I want to get three values. The first one is ID, and the second one is script, and the third one is which one is checked, whether it's body, whether it's head, and store this into a variable and send them. Where to send them? With the help of, send them to the URL, and as said already, with the help of WP localize script, we are now passing the PHP variable to the JavaScript, and this is how we access it. Now we are passing the action. I'll say why action is required. Along with the action, we'll sending these three data to the URL, and we are submitting a data somewhere, right? So does that where does these requests go? These requests usually go with the help of this action. We need to know what this action is, and based on that we need to call a hook called WP AJAX. As said, these requests get to a hook, and that hook is identified by this action. So you see, this is the hook. I said WP underscore AJAX underscore the action. Whatever action you give, that will be accessed over here, and this relevant function would be called. And now what we need is, we access those URL with the help of post super global variable, and that's it. Very simple. We are simply running where we are simply checking whether the page already exists or not. If it's exist, then update the row. If it doesn't exist on the table, then insert the row. By what are the things that we need to insert? We know which ID, which page to update, and the script and location will be added. And once it's saved, this WP underscore send underscore JSON sends the data to the AJAX function, and it will be displayed as a alert, and then the page will be reloaded. Let's just try. Now let me just use contact form test page 3, and let me just click on save. If everything goes well, you should get a success message. And I don't think I got a success message. Yes, I got a success message. That means this data was successful storing it, but the problem is I mistakenly stored this into the old database. It should be 2. Let's just try again. Click on save, and let's try refreshing the page, and yes, this got saved. So this got saved. Now you just need to understand the ID that we have received would be a number, so I'm converting it into we would be getting it in the form of string, query string, and I'm converting into int. So this is typecast, and this unsplash is the hero of this video here. What it does is, whenever you save something, if there is a quotes, WordPress adds slash to it. Now what we need to do is, when displaying it on the front end, we want the slash to get removed and display it without slash. That's why we use unsplash, WP underscore unsplash. Now what we need to do is, we need to get into the front end and check whether the script is applied or not. I know it won't be applied because we haven't linked these. So before linking, what we need to do is, we need to show the script. When I click on it, I want the next tab to open up. So for that, it's simple jQuery. So what we need to do is, when I click either of a link, I don't want the page to get reloaded, and I want to remove the class whichever has the nav underscore tab, and which link I have clicked, that link should have the active class, and then hide all the tab. So this form, also the HTML, will be inside a tab content, and based on the ID that we have received, based on the anchor tag which has href, show the tab content accordingly. So this is add, and the same way for the list. And now for the list, we are simply going to use the query WordPress database object, where it will simply fetch all the values from this particular table, and we have access to all the rows. Once we have access to all the rows, we will be using the for each to display individual row. And since we have the ID, with the help of the received ID, with the help of this function, we can display the title, and whether all the pages, whether the script is there or not. If the script is there, then display the text as yes. If the script is not that for the particular ID, then make it no. So let me just refresh this, and you would be able to click this function. It doesn't work. It's because we haven't saved it yet. Now if I click on it, what happens is the active tab will get added to this one. That's the first thing, and this both tab content will get hide, and based on the href the next one will show up. So this tab content has id list, and this tab content has id what's that, new or add. Yep. Now based on the script, whether it's there or not, if it's there then yes, if it's not there then no. So this particular page has a script tag that works. Now we need to know which location the script is going to add. So for that we'll use both the hook wp head and wp footer, and both of them will trigger a one function, and that function will have an argument head and head and body, and we are passing the location to this particular the another function. And now we need to define the function. After defining, we need to know the current page. If this is the current page, we need to know this id. If this id is known, we would use the query to match this current page id, whether it's there in the database. If there is a match, then display the script. That's what we meant on this line. So get the page id. If the page id matches with the row that is available on this particular table, then display the script. That's what it meant. Now if I refresh, you should see a alert message which you have defined over here. And if you get into the backend on the code, and if you search for it, this is there. So I hope the scope of this video is done. Thank you so much for listening. Meet you tomorrow with another hook.